y'all, and welcome to Politi-Brawl. My name is Brian, and Kari Lake catches her weak Democrat opponent in this awkward position in an airport, and the way he answers these questions from her, man, it just does not look good for him in November.
We met once when you were actually still on TV.
As a journalist,
but
well,
look forward to it. I think we're going to have a great race.
It's going to be a knockdown drag-out, and unfortunately, our border is wide open. You and Kirsten have had a lot of time to do something about it, and even the Democrats are upset about it, Ruben.
I think there's a lot we can still do. We've been doing some good work. I think there's some common ground I could find on. Look, we need to figure out how to get people here legally, so don't go through the illegal manner.
We got plenty of people here. Problem is we have plenty of people here right now. We have millions of people here.
Look,
fentanyl,
you want to go talk to some of the mayors?
Fentanyl has killed more
100%.
Young people.
And they come through our ports
and you've had an opportunity to vote. This is Ruben Gallego. Our border is wide open. He's trying to run for Senate. Our border is wide open. Fentanyl is killing our young people.
And it goes through the ports of entries. 90%
no, it's coming all over. But that's not
and we should really fund more border patrol.
Under President Trump, we had a secure border. And I'm telling you.
But I look forward to working together if we can, and obviously we'd have more conversations about this. I think it's
we're going to have conversations.
I think it's great that we could have a civil conversation too.
Civil, absolutely, but you know what's not civil? People dying on the streets. And in your district,
our state,
in your district,
our state,
no, it's your district. You have the fastest growing homeless population in the country.
There are veterans. Also has the fastest growing economy in the country. And this is our state. This is our problem.
So you're together. Okay. No, I had a solution for our homeless population.
And I look forward to working with
you. You did. And this guy wants to destroy our country. He really does. You have the fastest growing homeless population in the country, in your district.
I've been bringing
You've got veterans dying, and you're voting to cut veterans?
That's absolutely not true.
That is absolutely true. I just saw your vote in committee.
PAC Act. I've worked as a veteran. I've received
and I appreciate, thank you, good to see you.
So
I appreciate your service to our country, but I sure wish that you'd care more about our border. We're a border state.
I do care about the border. As a matter of fact, I will go down the border with you. Let's talk to the mayors. Let's get together.
I'm glad that you finally are going down to the border because you've had a chance to vote on it. You've had a chance to vote on it.
Look, let's go down the border together. Let's get the mayors together. They'll tell us about some really sane solutions that aren't just, easy answers, right?
You know what was saying? You know what was saying?
More border, putting up more border
Ruben,
ports of entry, helping out more background checks.
Ruben, we have to finish the wall. You do realize Joe Biden.
Not a simple answer.
You do realize, yes, it is simple. You do realize that Joe Biden.
There's a lot of things we do. We should do some border wall. We should add some more.
You do realize that
add some ports of entries. There's a lot of things to do, but just one thing does not answer it at all.
You do realize that President Trump was on the verge of finishing the border wall. He was doing it without support.
Right.
We had may I finish?
No.
Or do you just like to interrupt?
$50.
You just want to interrupt?
I believe it was only 50 miles, and Mexico was supposed to pay for it, and he never did.
Mexico helped us immensely with tens of thousands of soldiers.
Pay for it? They did not pay for it.
Ruben.
So let's be
Joe
clear.
Biden, your hero, gave away $300 million in border wall materials for nothing. That is absolutely
true. We're still waiting
true.
for Mexico to pay for it.
You know what?
But again,
Mexico chipped in.
This is something that you and I can work together on.
No, I'm not working together with you. I'm going to beat you.
Let's go talk.
I'm going to beat you.
Ooh, boy, y'all. Of these two candidates, tell me, which one looks more like a senator? The dude with a, ball cap and basic jacket, or someone actually wearing an outfit? Okay, which one looks more senatorial to you? That's what Arizona is having to decide in the upcoming November election. Now, granted, I'm a little bit more pessimistic, and I'll get to that later. But y'all, this should not be hard. There's Kari Lake, who is championing actual issues in the state of Arizona and across the nation. She is hammering the basic points. Fentanyl is pouring over our border. We need more border security. And Ruben even agrees with her that we need more Border Patrol agents. The question then would be to ask him, then why is your party, the party that elected Joe Biden, the party that nominated Joe Biden, then put Alejandro Mayorkas, the head of Homeland Security? Why would you do that when this man has mismanaged and misallocated resources that are desperately needed down at the border? Hey y'all, I wanted to give a quick shout out to our new sponsors, Native Path. Created by Dr. Chad out of Austin, Texas, he realized that there was something deeply wrong in this medical community. And instead of focusing on nutrition, they were just focused on serving big pharma. So he left and created this new company called Native Path. And what do they do over there? They sell something called collagen. Now, what is collagen? Well, it's not magic fairy dust. It's not this muscle milk. It's not calcium rich. Instead, it is an odorless, flavorless, dissolves completely in water powder that you can mix. And unlike iocane powder, this stuff has massive health benefits. It can help your bones, your joints, your ligaments, your skin, your hair follicles, even your fingernails. This stuff is absolutely packed with the nutrients that we lose so constantly in our modern diet. This stuff is a fantastic supplement, can help you live a healthier life. And if you go to this link down here below, you will find up to 45% off of certain products. That is how much Native Path cares about your health. So go check them out, link in the description below. And now, back to regularly scheduled programming. We've got people being trafficked into the United States by cartels, we have drug trafficking problems, and we have an illegal immigration problem. All three of these issues have nothing to do with port of entry. That's not the issue, Ruben. That's not the issue. You are talking about a drop in a bucket compared to the majority of the problems. You are talking about trimming a tree when you need to... You're talking about something that needs to be uprooted and destroyed. And you're sort of just passing it off. You're giving lip service to this idea that we can solve it through just one or two minor changes. No. We've got to go to the root of the problem. The root of the problem is that there is a demand in the United States for these terrible goods and services. You end that demand. The problem is you will start to run into some legal problems. You're going to start seeing the ugly side and the underbelly of the United States. But you've got to look at that problem. You've got to understand what it actually looks like. The fentanyl problem itself is quite literally creating a zombie horde in multiple parts of our cities. Literally, people who have not overdosed but are people who use fentanyl, they will contort their bodies in these weird angles and just stand there for hours. And they look like zombies. But this comes to the really pessimistic side of the video. It does not matter that Kari Lake is right on every single thing that she said. It does not matter that Ruben is moving the goalpost every single time on the issue, particularly towards the end there. What matters is that there are some Republicans in the state of Arizona that are so angry that she rightfully started to call out John McCain, who was asleep at the wheel before and after his failed attempt to run for president. He refused to solve some of the major problems. And even when an opportunity arose to reform Obamacare, he instead said, no, I'm going to say screw you, Donald Trump, instead of helping out his country. And there are a sect of Republicans in the state of Arizona whom I get it. And you know what? I'm going to use another example. Matt Bevin was a pretty solid governor for the state of Kentucky. But he ended up saying something that was true, but was so unpalatable to the average voter that they decided to stay at home. The state of Kentucky is almost a 2-for-1 state. All right, there are about 65% Republicans, 35% Democrats. Matt Bevin basically said that the state was soft. They didn't need to be closing down every time there was a threat of a snowstorm, and that some teachers deserved to be removed from their positions. But he said it so poorly that about a third of those normal Republican voters said, no, we aren't even going to show up for you. We'll vote down ballot, but we won't vote for you. And ultimately, a Democrat won and got into office. I'm afraid that exact same thing is happening in Arizona again. We saw this in 2022. It does not matter that Kari Lake is right. That is the sad truth. So instead of holding their noses and thinking, I'm going to go with someone who represents 60% of my values and not risk 60% of them, or I'm going to sit at home and risk that the person that only represents 20% of my values ends up winning. That is a terrible calculus, And I just don't understand it. I'm afraid that's going to happen, and it does not matter that Kari Lake has such a good clip here. And she is just beating Ruben bloody to a bloody pulp. And it's not going to matter. That is the sad truth about modern politics. So we have to be careful, y'all. Kari Lake is right. And this is why Donald Trump doesn't talk about policy as much as he should against Kamala Harris. Policy doesn't win elections. Vibes do. And Kari Lake, unfortunately, has a problem. And again, I hate to beat around the bush here, but vibes win elections. It does not matter that she said everything correctly here. What matters is a certain sect of voters are just going to say, no, I don't like you. And they're going to play petty playground politics instead of realizing that they could have a much better candidate as their senator. That's just the sad truth of things. Folks, my name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed this segment here on Politibrawl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. And until then, y'all have a good one.